what a leader does. And if you take nothing else away from this presentation except this, then this is probably the most powerful slide for you. This is based on the work of John Adair from the UK. And John Adair says that leaders have 3 responsibilities, and they are task, individual, and team. So let's explore what each of those responsibilities are in detail. So if we go to the next slide, we can see that at the very beginning is task. As a leader, you have to ensure a task is completed to standard, within timeframes and within budget. That's every leader's responsibility. So you have to ensure that everyone on your team knows what to do. So every person goes, yep, I know what I have to do. Now, this focus on task is basically what everyone is measured by. If you don't deliver the house, if you don't deliver the renovation, if you don't deliver the project, that's the task, then you're judged harshly for that. So that is why this is the first one. Now, I'm going to talk to you about leadership versus management here, because oftentimes they're separated, that leadership is different to management, and yes, they are. But you cannot be an effective leader within your context without being an effective manager. And the management of your projects, the management of what you do, is what we're talking about here. And there are 3 key areas that you need to consider for the task. Do your people have position descriptions? Do they know what to do? Have you clearly articulated the tasks that they're performing? Have you got processes that people can follow? Are they clear? Does everyone have access to them? Does everyone understand the processes to make sure the task is completed? And another critical one here is number 3, which are your key performance indicators, your KPIs. What are you measuring people on? Because what measured gets done. So your key performance indicators is what's important to your business to achieve the results. Now, that's only 3 within that task space. So as a leader, if you look at implementing at least one of those, then you're ticking off that task. There's a whole heap that we're going to go through over the next 12 months in that task area. So as a leader, you've got to ensure that everyone in your team knows what to do. The next area that we're going to look at is, if we can click onto the next slide, is individual. Your role as a leader is to support and develop each individual on your team, and to make every individual know that they are valued. Because if they feel they're valued, they will go that extra mile for you. We all want to feel valued. We all want to feel important. So how do you make people feel valued? And we've just got 4 simple ones here that you can implement pretty much instantaneously. One-on-one time. The most valuable thing that we all have is time. That's the most valuable asset that you can give to anyone. So spending one-on-one time with each of your team members is so powerful, and actually listening to them. So you need to schedule that. Whether you do that once a week, once a fortnight, or once a month at a minimum, you need that one-on-one time. You need to devote that time. Each person has different motivators. We're all motivated by different things. So as a leader, building that relationship, spending one-on-one time, getting to know each of your individuals, makes you understand what motivates them. So you know, for example, that what motivates one of your team members, Joe, could be ballroom dancing. And you happen to know that through conversation that Joe has ballroom dancing every Wednesday afternoon. So every so often you go up to him and say, hey, look, mate, I know you've got ballroom dancing this afternoon. If you want to leave a little bit earlier, that's fine. And that he goes, oh, wow, that person cares. They know what's important to me. Other people are motivated by career advancement. Some people are motivated by money, although it's not really money, it's what money can buy them. But everyone has a different motivator. If you can't tell me what motivates each of your team members, then you are not fulfilling this particular requirement of supporting and developing each individual in your team. Now, the next one is a sneaky one. You've all got mobile phones. Keep notes on each person, because sometimes you can't remember. Keep notes on what their motivators are. Keep notes on what's important to them. Keep notes on, they might have said, oh, it's my son's birthday next week. make a note of that. And then on that day, make a comment. Oh, it's your son's birthday today. Have you got anything special planned? They will appreciate those little things. So don't be afraid to keep notes on your team members about all these aspects of their individual motivations, what they find important. And the last one there, birthdays and anniversaries. You work in fairly small teams. You should know the birthdays and anniversaries of your team members. You should know it because it's on file. These are records that you're required to keep. So forgetting a birthday is a major no-no. If someone comes onto site and you completely forgot their birthday, they're going to think, well, they don't really care about me. A simple, hey, mate, happy birthday, or have a beer on me or something. It doesn't have to be big, but a simple acknowledgement. And again, anniversaries. Congratulations, you've been working with us 2 years. Woohoo. Now, these are little things. They're not big, but they make a difference. They make people feel valued. They make people feel important. So 4 simple steps in that particular space. Now let's look at the last one, which is team. And the team is about creating and maintaining a team. And the object here is that each person feels like they belong. It's that sense of belonging. We come from a tribal background. Our ancestry is about being part of a tribe. And part of that tribe is that sense of belonging and that connection to each other. So I'm going to give you some examples of teamwork in action. And I'm going to refer to the Live Life Build Friday wins, because this is a great example of team. So for example, if we look at what a team does, a team is a defined group. And we have on the Live Life Build Friday wins a defined group with a Facebook group. You're all connected to Live Life Build. That's your team. You all have shared goals. Everyone wants to be better at what they do, and that's a shared goal. You all have a shared language. You use common terms so that you all know what you're talking about. So you're all part of that tribe. And one of the things with tribes is the lingo that's used. You go to a different tribe and they have different lingo. You go to a different company, they have different acronyms. And the other thing that this actually does really well, that the Friday Wins does really well, is it produces serotonin. Now, there's 3 major neurochemicals that are the buzzwords at the moment. There's dopamine, there's oxytocin, and there's serotonin. You've probably heard about them. We're just going to talk about serotonin today. And if you look at the word serotonin, S-E, and it's an easy one to remember because I see you. Serotonin is produced when there's acknowledgement and people feel like they've been recognized and they've achieved something. So I see you. So when you're sharing your wins, you're actually recognizing yourself, you're acknowledging what you've achieved, and that actually produces serotonin in you. But what the best thing about serotonin is that we also get it when we see other people have wins. So when you're sharing your wins with someone else and they're watching it, they actually feel good as well. And it's the serotonin that actually produces that. Now, I would ask each of you to think about your Friday wins and think about when you watch it, how do you feel? And I would suggest that each of you feels pretty damn good after those Friday wins, after watching them, because it lifts you.